like it. We love it to be a human.
Sup, you guys? ASD Classified here. Oh, Beast Morphers Season 2. The fandom seems to like it. I don't. It's truly a failure of a season and an insult to RPM in my eyes. But ASD, what's wrong with it? Plenty is wrong with it, okay? Honestly, I don't even feel like making this video, but I remember saying that I would.
Yeah, about 100 years ago.
Better late than never.
And like the Joker, I'm a man of my word. So here we are. So, did Beast Morphers Season 2 improve on any of the issues I had with Season 1? Well, no. The villains still suck, the Beast bots are still an afterthought, Commander Shaw is not utilized to her fullest potential. They could have kept the episode with Nate's parents because it was crap, okay? The original fight scenes still suck.
Patty cake, baker's man, bake me a cake as fast as you can.
And the story is poorly developed in favor of filler. The biggest issue I have with this season is that the writers don't know how to tell a compelling story, or they're not being allowed to tell a compelling story, okay? And you can see this by looking at these particular characters and plot points. Mayor Evox, Blaze and Roxy, Nate's backstory, still wanting to be human, and references to Power Rangers continuity. And in this video, we are going to discuss all of these characters and plot points. So strap in! First, let's start with Mayor Evox. So in Season 2, it was revealed that the main villain of the season, Evox, was fused together in the body of the mayor of the city, right? Until the Rangers saved him. What was the point of this? I cannot, for the life of me, figure out why they even did this plot. Like, I rewatched the early episodes of Season 2 with Mayor Evox, and I just don't understand why they even wasted their time and my time doing this plot. Like, nothing came from this. You have an interesting plot. The mayor is the Red Ranger's father. The villain is inside his body and controlling him, and you do nothing of interest with that. Wow. And I remember Evox saying he had some great plan while being in the body of the mayor. What was the plan? What was the plan, sir? The only thing that happened with Evox controlling the mayor is that more Morphex towers were built across the planet. But that was going to happen anyway.
Today we tap into an endless source of clean energy. The entire Earth will follow in our footsteps.
We didn't need Evox to do this. They were always planning to make more Morphex towers across the planet. What were you bringing to the table, sir? There are so many things that Mayor Evox could have been doing. It's not even funny. You could have had Evox spreading the Evox virus across the planet. You could have had him hacking stuff in Grid Battle Force since he has unlimited access to the place as the mayor. You could have had Mayor Evox and Devon fight. I would have loved to see a fight scene between father and son throwing down. He trying to save his dad, but dad is kicking his ass. Like, that would have been fun to see. You could have had the mayor slowly poisoning Devon or brainwashing him in his sleep since, you know, they live together because, again, they're father and son. Maybe show an inner struggle between the mayor and Evox and they're fighting for control over the body. Anything that I mentioned would have been 10 times better than just watching Evox cough up a lung for 10 episodes. Again, I ask, what was the point of this? Just to make a reference about split emitters from Dino Charge? Wow. Oh, I know the real reason. It was to drive home the point that human DNA weakens Evox, a plot point that I really despise. Great.
Teenagers.
Next up, Blaze and Roxy. So they decided to bring the avatars back, make them robots, and they're somehow weaker than ever. I don't even understand.
We're brand spanking new.
Like, Blaze and Roxy were weak in season 1, but in season 2, they over here dying in every episode. Every episode, they're getting blown up over and over and over and over and over again. It is ridiculous. Evil Rangers do not go out like this. I'm sorry. Evil Rangers do not get their ass whooped like this in every episode. This is ridiculous. Evil Rangers put up an amazing fight. They challenged the good Power Rangers like nobody else does, okay? When you beat an Evil Ranger, it is supposed to feel like a well-earned victory. You don't get any of that in Beast Morphers. Like, anybody could beat Blaze and Roxy. I believe that Ben and Betty could absolutely take Roxy and Blaze. I absolutely believe it. Evil Rangers are supposed to be strong as hell, and it's supposed to take everything to beat them. And yet Blaze and Roxy are getting blasted off in every episode like they're Team Rocket. It's a disgrace. We also have to discuss the real Blaze and Roxy, the good Blaze and Roxy. They're out of their comas, but they might as well still be asleep because what the hell do they do in this season? How do you have 2 allies and 2 enemies that look exactly the same, and that's not used as a plot except for like one of the last episodes of the season? And of course, that episode is one of the best episodes of the damn season because it's such an obvious plot to do, you know, even though I feel they should have some type of scanners at Grid Battle Force to make sure that the real Blaze and Roxy are the real ones, right? But whatever, you know, putting that aside, that episode where evil Blaze pretended to be good Blaze and infiltrated Grid Battle Force, that was awesome. And can I say, I just love the fact that Evil Blaze went to Grid Battle Force, was manipulating Devon and acting like a total dick, and nobody thought it was out of the ordinary because the real Blaze is also a dick. I love it, man. The real Blaze and Roxy should have been used more, man. Like, Blaze should have been pissed that he wasn't a ranger after he came out of his coma. And there should have been an episode where he learns to get over it, you know, and he and Devon become friends. Like, we should have saw the character development on screen instead of just being told that, hey, they're friends now. Like, they should also still be helping at Grid Battle Force. Why can't they just work there anyway, even if they're not Rangers? Like, Roxy could have been Nate's assistant. Didn't he need one? And it sucks that Ravi and Roxy's relationship wasn't explored more. And they only got like 1 episode, and it was like a 90s sitcom where they were both crazy mad at each other over like a simple misunderstanding. My thing is, if you have characters, use them. Like, Blaze and Roxy could have been helping out in fights against grunts and monsters. They were going to be Rangers. They know how to fight. Hell, you could have made Blaze and Roxy Rangers. Yeah, I know, budget limitations, but in story, there's no reason why Nate couldn't make a Morphers for the 2 of them, okay? Or you could have just gave them the old forms that the Robotars were using in season 1. Give them to the good Blaze and Roxy. I'm sorry, that Red Ranger suit, the evil Red Ranger suit that Blaze had in season 1, like, that should be used more. It's too sick not to, okay? You gotta use that suit more. It's too cool, man. Or have Blaze and Roxy take on the regular Red and Yellow Ranger powers in an episode where Devon and Zoey are hurt or kidnapped, and Blaze and Roxy have to step in and help. That would have been cool. And you definitely should have had a fight, you know, between Blaze and Roxy and their evil doppelgangers. I feel like that was a must. How could you not do that?
Hi, Nate.
Moving on to Nate's backstory. As you may know, Nate is my favorite Ranger in this season. I just wish we had learned a little more about his backstory, about his upbringing, about him joining Grid Battle Force. I would have loved to see that. I wish he had got an episode like the Dr. K episode in RPM, you know. Just, it didn't have to be as sad, you know, but I wish we had got more backstory, man. Definitely wish we got a better backstory with his parents. Like, his parents pretty much abandoned him at a young age, and the episode does not it does not play into that at all. Like, I don't even know what his parents do. Like, his parents left him to travel around the world for their work, and we don't even know what the hell they do. Are they missionaries or something? It's never said, but it's no excuse for abandoning your child, because Nate had issues in this season. Like, he felt, before, you know, the Rangers became a team, He didn't really feel like he had a family. And he felt like he had one when the Rangers showed up. And he definitely felt like he had a family once Steel showed up, because Steel was like his brother. They shared the same DNA. But yeah, Nate has a lot of issues, a lot of abandonment issues that this season barely touches on. Like, his parents are awful. They are awful, and they're not really made to be awful. They should have been called out on how awful they really are. Which is why when I made the video talking about season 1, I would have preferred it if the show actually just like, yeah, his parents are dicks. They're evil. You know, they do not care that much about their son. And maybe they could have learned to care about him a little more, you know, kind of like Summer's parents in RPM. Like, her parents were kind of, you know, snobs, and then they learned how to not be snobs by the end of that 2-part episode they were on, right? Like, it could have been something like that for Nate's parents. I don't know. But yeah, definitely feel they could have did a little more with Nate. Maybe they could have did the reveal of Evox's Vengeance a little sooner, and then we show Nate trying to do all these crazy experiments to try to stop him. I don't know, man. Also, I do have to talk about Nate and Zoey. So in this season, Nate and Zoey, they did get together, I guess. They started dating, you know, and I remember wanting this when the season was on the air, but like, looking back at it, Nate and Zoey have like zero chemistry. Zero chemistry, man. And it's not like they did that much with that coupling anyway. They got permission from Commander Shaw to date, and then nothing really came from that. We didn't see them date that much. They had like a little scene in that episode where Nate's abusive parents showed up, but other than that, they didn't really do anything with this relationship, so it felt like a waste of time. And again, they have zero chemistry in hindsight, so
It made you human. Are you sure? This is for more than just one day.
So, still becoming human. I hate it. I hate that he turned human, and I hate that he wanted to turn human. Because I'm an old, jaded, and crusty adult, I just don't see the appeal in being human like the writers of Beast Morphers do. And that's a me thing, I understand that, but I feel like it would have been a way better message for the kiddos if Steel learned to love himself for who he is and understood that he's great as a half human, half robot. He's a very unique being, and there's no shame in being a half robot, half human. And, you know, and learning to love himself instead of becoming a human. Instead of just, oh, I really need to become human because humans are great, and if you're not human, then you might as well just be dead. Like, that's really the message that came off here, and I don't like it. There's no moving reason for why Steel wants to become human. It's just so he can eat tasty foods. Okay. I feel the same way about that weird RoboCop from space that showed up for 2 episodes. So this RoboCop let his superiors at the Galaxy Police Force do experiments on him and turn him into a cyborg. And now he looks so crazy that he doesn't ever want to go home to see his daughter because he feels that it will frighten her and scare her how he looks now. And the solution to this problem was to have Nate use his genius to build a device to turn him fully human again. This man was willing to abandon his child because of how he looked. And I don't have an issue with him being upset about how he looked and all. I have an issue with him not realizing that it didn't matter how he looked, okay? You have a daughter. She's gonna love you no matter what. You need to be a father. Go back and see your child. Are you kidding me? Instead, it was make me look fully human again, and that's the only way I'm going to continue my fatherly duties. Awful. But yeah, in conclusion, not a fan of Steel becoming human. Also, let's talk about that musical episode. Oh my God. Let's talk about the musical episode where Nate and Steel switch bodies. Whoever wrote that song in that episode, I hope you find great employment somewhere else.
Oh, it's great to be human. There's a whole wide world of things to do.
I don't have anything against musicals. One of my favorite episodes of Buffy is a musical, but the songs have to be good. Okay, that's the key. They have to be good. This song isn't. And I can't really even call this episode of Beast Morphers a musical. It's just one song, one random song where everybody started breakdancing and crap. But it sucks. Like I said before, it is Megaforce in song. I don't want to hear a song about how great and wonderful human beings are. not all humans are great and wonderful, okay? It's the biggest lie. And I hate shows that act like humanity is the biggest standard for all that is good and pure, because they certainly are not. Not the humans that deem anybody that look different from them a threat. Not the humans that shoot first and ask questions later. It can't be those humans that you're trying to tell me are great and wonderful and wise and the paragons of virtue. You gotta be kidding me. But whatever, I'm just a jaded adult and not a kid. But I know if I was a kid, I wouldn't be watching this. And to be fair, I don't mind the costumes in the dance sequence. I don't mind the dance choreography. The dance choreography wasn't that bad. And I don't mind the randomness of everybody just breaking out in song. Power Rangers is a cheesy show. You know, stuff like this is bound to happen at some point. But it's just the song lyrics. The song lyrics ruined the entire experience for me. So, gross.
Putties and Vivix fought Rangers for years. You need a history lesson.
Like history?
Alright, let's talk about Power Rangers continuity. So in this season, there were a lot of references to past Power Ranger seasons. Some good, some bad, some lazily written. So I feel like I can't talk about Ranger continuity in this season without talking about grid connection. Now, I'm not going to be talking about it too much because I've made 2 videos on that damn team up. So go watch those if you want to know my full thoughts on grid connection, okay? But I feel like I need to touch on something in particular though. Now, I remember for one of the videos I made about grid connection and the Dino Ranger team up, somebody left me a pretty nasty comment, you know, pretty much telling me that I'm stupid and all of this makes sense in grid connection, all this stuff that the Morphin Grid was apparently doing. And it totally makes sense for the Rangers to just pray to the Morphin Grid and Legendary Rangers just show up. That totally makes sense. And I didn't respond to that comment because that whole rant that he wrote just sounded idiotic, but I feel like I have to respond now in video.
Don't spit on.
So, y'all want me to believe that Grid Battle Force, a government agency, does not have the capabilities to contact past Rangers should they need to, and their only option is to pray to the Morphin Grid with a random meteor that was also sent by the Morphin Grid. And maybe some Legendary Rangers will hear their prayers and show up. That was the only option. I refuse. Grid Battle Force has a secret vault that is full of past Ranger weaponry and technology. They have a Ranger history class that was developed by old mentors like Dr. K, and Dr. K is from another dimension. Grid Battle Force is so well known that the Galaxy Police know that Grid Battle Force has a secret Ranger vault. And you're telling me that Grid Battle Force does not have one of those trans-dimensional portal devices? You gotta be kidding me. It's just lazy writing, man. It's just lazy writing. You're telling me that it doesn't make sense for Grid Battle Force to be able to pick up a phone or use a transportal device to find some Legendary Rangers to help them. It doesn't make sense for them to do that, but it makes complete sense for the Morphin Grid to send visions to Keeper that he never had before. It makes sense for a meteorite to be sent by the Morphin Grid that almost kills the Red Ranger. It makes sense for the Ranger to use the meteorite to contact the Morphin Grid and pray to it and hope that Rangers can hear his prayers. And it makes sense for the Morphin Grid to turn the meteorite into a power coin. And then Jason shows up when Jason already had his powers in Super Mega Force. I'm confused. Okay, why would we write any of this instead of having Grid Battle Force just contact some Rangers? Hey, are you guys available? We need some help. And then they show up. You know, if you're not fighting Lord Devon or something, can you come down here and help us real quick? Sure, no problem. Just do that.
Prepare a galactic alert transmission. Rangers of Aquitar, the people of Earth are in great peril.
How did you know?
Alpha sent out a distress signal.
I feel like I shouldn't have to explain how dumb that is, but whatever. If y'all like it, it's fine, alright? Is that how Carter found Cole and Wild Force Forever Red? Did he pray to the Morphin Grid as well? Hey, where is that Red Ranger with the red lion at? Oh, he's down here. Like, yeah, I didn't want to get too roped into talking about Grid Connection, but I will say this. You know, Grid Connection is trash for a lot of reasons. You know, the dialogue sucks, you know, no original action with Jason, blah, blah, blah. But it sucks. Like, the biggest reason it sucks is because it just brings nothing to the table. Like, it's nothing. Like, this episode exists, you know, just for the fans, which is fine if it's good. But it's not good, and then it doesn't bring anything new to the table. Dimensions in Danger, for all its flaws, at least brings something new to the table. You know, Dimensions in Danger is not a good team up. It's not. I have to kind of remind myself that the only reason I enjoy Dimensions in Danger is because I fast forward through all the scenes that don't have Tommy in it. That's why I enjoy Dimensions in Danger a little bit, you know, and give it a 3 out of 5 and whatnot. Because I'm just watching stuff with Tommy. I'm cutting out all the Ninja Steel Ranger crap because it's awful. But that episode, Dimensions in Danger, also brings stuff new to the table. The Master Morpher, for instance. We also got the introduction of those trans-dimensional portal devices from Dimensions in Danger, okay? And we've been seeing them ever since. Dimensions in Danger brought that up. So like I said, that team up, for all its flaws, at least it added to the lore of Power Rangers. Grid Connection didn't do crap.
I was Vengeance!
Okay, let's talk about Evox being Vengeance. Y'all already know I don't like this. You can't tell me that the writers knew they were going to do this before writing the show. And even if they did, there's no way they knew they were going to do this prior to season 2. Because if they always knew that Evox was going to be Vengex, why did they not have Evox try to steal the Vengex virus before? In season 1, Blaze and Roxy broke into Grid Battle Force. Why didn't Evox order them to steal the Vengex virus from the Ranger Vault or whatever? In season 2, Evox took control over Nate. Why didn't they order Nate to take the virus? What's going on? Why did they wait until episode 43 or 44 to tell us the backstory of Evox long after people stopped giving a shit? Ugh. And like I've said before, Evox being Vengex just ruins the reputation of Vengex. Are you kidding me? Compared to Vengex, Evox has done nothing. Evox just made 2 avatars that got their ass whooped in every episode. That's all he did. Why didn't Evox infect the world's computers prior to going after the Morphex? We saw in the premiere of season 1 that Nate couldn't detect the virus. It would have been easy for him to do that. Dumb. The Evox virus cannot infect anyone with human DNA, even if that person is a cyborg. That is completely pathetic for a sentient virus to not be able to do that. And it's the complete opposite of the Vengex virus. Man, Vengex took over an entire planet, had it run over by machines, was turning people into cyborgs. And you took a great villain like that and turned it into Evox, who didn't do half of what Vengex did. Ugh. Nah, Evox doesn't even feel like Vengex. Vengex conquered an entire world. Vengex kidnapped people, put them in slave camps, turned people into cyborgs. Like, no, it's just an insult that Evox is Vengex. Really, the only good thing out of this is that Vengex has the potential to be a multiversal threat, I suppose. I do like that once Evox Vengex had gained the power of the Morphin Grid, he seemed to be so powerful. You know, I didn't like how he lost. But the fact that he could gain that much power, that is interesting. And I'm pretty sure that Vengex Evox is still not dead. He's probably alive somewhere. So I would look forward to seeing a better writer take on the character in the future. And finally, we have to talk about the Power Vault, man. Oh, how can the Power Ranger comic book writers have time to explain shit like Rita's backstory, Zordon's backstory, Zed's backstory, Terra Venture's backstory, Goldar and Venster's backstory, and a whole bunch of other stuff that we didn't even care about? But meanwhile, the writers on the main show don't have time to explain anything. But hey, we have plenty of time for wacky Ben and Betty scenes. Like, is it too much to ask for them to explain how Grid Battle Force got their hands on all that technology in their vault? How did you get your hands on all this Ranger tech? How? Just explain it. Come up with anything. Tell us that, you know, a bunch of old school legendary Rangers created Grid Battle Force and that's how they have access to it. Because otherwise, I don't know why all these Ranger teams would hand over their tech to this random government agency unless they're all connected to it. But explain that. RPM gave their entire Morphers to Grid Battle Force. Why? Why would that happen? And let's talk about Elsa real quick. You really brought the actress that played Elsa from Dino Thunder back and not have her play her iconic character. Who does that? Who does it? I'm assuming Elsa is married to Anton Mercer at this point, so Mercer Industries could have been financing Grid Battle Force. You see how easy you can connect this stuff? Could have used her for the Dino team up too, just missing out on all the opportunities. However, thank you for bringing Dr. K back. Dr. K's little cameos, those were the best parts of Beast Morphers, so I am appreciative of that. And they wrote Dr. K pretty well, so thank you.
I don't usually say this, but good job.
I just wish Dr. K had a scene with Evox, but other than that, her brief appearances, they were great, especially her talks with Nate. So yeah, that's it. Those are all my thoughts on Beast Morphers and why I do not like this season. So if you're watching this video, what do you think about Beast Morphers season 1, season 2, whatever, all of it? What do you think about it? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's muh? Let me know in the comments if you be so kind. All right, later guys. Jamata.